Do you think this is going to be America being great again?
I think it's already pretty great.
Everything's big here.
Lizzo. Who thought Kanye was going to be a Nazi? That's what I'm saying. Like, everything's on the table. You can't predict anything anymore. I don't want to be the dad comic.
So Bill Cosby's not only not guilty, he's actually been falsely accused.
Those 44 women were full of shit. I always say fires are the new school shootings in America. There's one a week, and I've stopped caring.
Mark Norman, welcome back, brother. How are you?
Good to be back. Hey, I'm on no sleep, but I'm glad to be away from my family.
Yeah. Well, you're a father of a 2-month-old.
Yes, it's hard. But we're getting through it, goddammit.
Yeah, we were just talking before we started of how, like, the cuteness of the baby is what gets you through.
Yes.
Because if you didn't have that...
No, it's like a fart. You like your own, but I hate other ones. So, but you know how I get it out? I burp the shit out of him. That's how I, get out. That's how I hit him. I'm just kidding. CPS, don't call me. No, he's cute and great. We're having a great time.
Strong start.
It is a powerful start. Have you changed, Mark?
Well, I got a Jamaican lady coming at night for a different reason. Now she's watching the baby, so that helps. Do you guys do the night nurse ever?
No.
Oh, really?
No, we're raw dogging it, mate.
You're stronger than me, because this Jamaican lady comes in, and she's pretty great, because my wife will be like, I'm sad. She's like, that's just white women shit. Suck it up, bitch. And I'm like, can't argue with the old school black lady. So it's been great. It's been great.
Yeah.
Looking forward to the sleeping through the night, but we'll get to that.
Has it made you, like, I don't know about, for me, it made me slightly more empathetic, which for me was a result, because I was starting with a very low base.
Yeah.
What about you?
Totally. We're comedians. We're selfish. We're assholes. So yeah, way more empathetic, way less selfish, because it's not about you anymore. Hey, I got to feed this thing. You want to sleep, but you go, he's got a shitty diaper. So you definitely grow up quick. And I think other people could use a baby. You know, you meet all these cum guzzlers on the street who are just selfish, and I feel like the next generation is all about me with the selfie and the TikToks. They could use a baby.
Do you just call Francis a cum guzzler?
Yes. Well, I've been saying that for years. But yeah. But you know what I mean.
He needs to get on that journey, and he's not there.
What journey? Well, sorry.
The cum guzzling journey.
To the cum guzzling journey. Oh, fair enough. I was like, what?
That's Bonnie Blue's tour.
Yeah.
But yeah, I will say, I'm not one of these, like, you got to have a kid. If you don't have a kid, you're worthless. But it does.
There's a but there.
It gets you going. It jumpstarts you.
Yeah.
So. Yeah, give it a shot.
Give it a shot. So are you going around now evangelizing for babies?
No, I'm not one of those guys. But I do think it makes your life a little more fulfilling.
Yeah. And when it comes to the comedy aspect of it, has it changed the way you do comedy? Have you now become more sensitive and think, I'm not going to open with the pedo joke? Maybe.
Have you seen his material, man?
5 minutes in.
Yeah, I go right in the pedo. But I guess it's I don't want to be the dad comic. You don't want to be that guy, you know? So I'm trying to have my voice while talking about the kid. So I keep it dark and fun.
Yeah, but if you think about a dad comic, I kind of get what you mean by that. But also the dad comic was some of the greatest comedians of all time.
That's true.
Bill Cosby, dad comic. He's a great comedian.
Somewhat tainted. Somewhat tainted.
Yeah, actually, never convicted, never tried. No, he's not guilty.
What?
Anyway,
What? He went to jail.
no, but it got.
Francis, do you know you're on camera,
I
right?
didn't know that I'm on camera.
Right. So let's just get this right.
Yeah.
Is Bill Cosby, is he guilty or not?
No, he was found guilty of the court, but then...
And went to jail. But
jail.
you're now claiming he's innocent.
No, I'm claiming he's not guilty because I know that it got overturned.
Oh, so legally he's not guilty, but
Yeah. He got
it's
as
like
many
OJ.
Yeah.
So are you saying he's a victim of a miscarriage of justice?
Yeah, exactly.
Bill Cosby?
Yeah. Legally he is.
Well, give it a goog. Can we get a verdict on that?
Billy,
No
look it
pun
up. I want to know.
Yeah. I mean, I'll tell you what, I've put a hell of a stake in the ground, haven't I?
Yeah, you have. And we're going to find out. Now, look, in fairness, if you're right,
Yeah.
it's going to be it's going to be a revelation to the audience of Trigonometry, I
Yeah.
would imagine, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, OJ, he didn't get convicted. So
Exactly.
You might
Another
have
good
something
man.
here.
Yeah. So yeah. No, absolutely. Another soldier.
Right.
Yeah.
Anyway, your point was Bill Cosby and others.
And others. And look, Louis C.K.
Yeah, well, that wasn't illegal.
Well,
Well,
yeah.
what Cosby did was illegal.
Yeah.
What do you got there, Slatty?
Freed after top court overturned sexual assault conviction.
Overturned. There
Thank you very
go.
much.
So
You got to
Bill,
get him on here.
so Bill Cosby's not only not guilty,
Yeah.
he's actually been falsely accused.
But a
Whoa.
perfect trigonometry guess. I think
Absolutely.
Those 44 women were full of shit. Not really. I'm joking. The 44 is a lot. You can't really argue with 44.
That's the thing is I feel like I know this is supposed to be a share show, but I feel like once you're past 10 women,
Yeah.
Yeah.
that's not a conviction in court, but it's not that far off. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
You
The
sort of
people's
feel like,
court. Yes.
if it's like, if it's double digits, so maybe there's some truth to it. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah. I
Unless
think
it's a
so.
coordinated attack.
Ooh, boy,
Yeah.
you really keep digging.
I
huh?
mean, 10,
Yeah. yeah.
getting 10 women to work together like that is pretty fucking hard.
Yeah.
And they all had the same story, which
Yeah.
is not good either.
Yeah.
The
abs-
drugging.
Yeah. So, anyway, great comedian.
My Mount Rushmore for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. One could say, actually, inspired Richard Pryor. Richard Pryor, who obviously, when he started, was a Bill Cosby tribute act. But anyway, Louis C.K., they are dad comedians, is my point.
Bill Burr, Louis, Chris
Yeah.
Rock, Chappelle, all dads.
Yeah.
So, the dad joke is even a shitty thing to say. That's a dad joke. They have dad jokes.
And dad, yeah, exactly. That's quite interesting. They put the word dad in front of something in a slang term to denigrate it, like dad
Yes.
bod, dad joke.
Dad rock.
Yeah, dad rock.
Yeah, you're right. Mom
Men's
is
rights.
good.
Yeah.
Sorry, I misjudged the moment. Forgive me.
Mom is good. Mom sex. Wait, I guess that's a MILF.
Yeah.
Do moms have a thing? Mom jeans? Mom.
No, but see, mums are venerated, and so they should be.
Right.
But my point is, the father is sort of denigrated, isn't he?
It is. It's a pejorative for sure. Dad joke, dad bod.
Yeah.
Good point.
So,
What's that about?
yeah, exactly.
No one feels bad for men,
Right.
right?
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, where if we go, hey, I'm tired, people go, shut up, suck it up, you pussy.
Work harder.
Work harder.
It's interesting, isn't it? Because I kind of like, on the one hand, I'm kind of laughing along, go, oh, that's really messed up. On the other hand, that's actually what I believe.
I know, well, men don't feel bad for men either.
No.
It's not a woman thing.
No.
But like Johnny Depp, he got accused of beating Amber Heard. He went through like all this trial, all this public attack, and then he proved he was right. And everybody was like, hey, you won that one. It's like, hey, how about what the fuck? I got called a wife beater, and it wasn't true. Look, no one pats you on the back and goes, oh, you're sorry you went through that, buddy. That was hell. We just go, hey, you won.
Yeah.
What's the next movie?
Keep going.
Yeah.
And then people talk about Men's Mental Health Week or Men's Mental Health Month.
Oh, come on.
All of this stuff. And you go, on the one hand, it's important. On the other hand,
No one cares.
yeah.
Yeah, it's true. It's a tough go.
And even,
We're not allowed to be sad, but then women are like, I wish men would open up. I wish they would be emotional. And you're like, well, actually, I feel like everybody hates us. And they're like, shut up, you fag. And you're like, what the hell? All right. So you want me to have feelings as long as you approve of them.
Yes.
yeah.
I think that is exactly what they want.
Yeah.
All right.
And where do you think comedy is at the moment, Mark? Do you think, because there was at one point, well, we first interviewed you in 2022, but the past few years, it seemed as if everything was kind of regressing. I think people were being censored, people getting, even Mike Ward in Canada getting arrested for a joke.
Yeah.
So, but where do you think we are now?
I think we're doing great. I mean, we're booming. This is a big. How many friends do you know who are in arenas? Like I just did the Chicago Theater, which is a pretty big room in Chicago, and I was talking to the booker or the producer, whatever it is, and he was like, "I got to tell you, I've been working here 50 years. No comedians play." He's like, "We had Don Rickles here, and it was like half full, and that was in the early 80s. He was a legend." So people just didn't go out and see comedy. Like you had Dice Clay and Steve Martin maybe doing arena here and there, but now it's like Andrew Schultz is at the Garden, Nate Bargatze's at the Bridgestone Arena. I mean, it's just huge names now, and these are friends of ours.
Well, I said this to Schultz. We had him on the other day. Like watching his latest special, you'd think like wokeness never happened.
Right.
Like we're so over it in comedy, especially in America.
Yeah, well, I think we learned, because the internet will come at you hard, and you go, oh my God, everybody's against me. Can I even go outside? This is scary. And then we learned, like, yeah, they all talk, and then it goes away. Trump got shot in the head. We were over it in 2 days, you know? So we were scared of the internet for a while, and now we all go, the internet's going to talk. I'm just going to keep saying whatever I want. I do hate when people go, oh, cancel culture, it's not real. It's like, well, don't gaslight me. It was scary for a while.
Yeah.
You know, let's not pretend like that wasn't a thing. Like, I was scared of other comedians. I would be writing jokes going, what if they see that? I better not say that. Like, I was worried. So I have friends who lost jobs because of this, and they said that. So, like, it was scary. I mean, a professor lost a job for saying ladies and gentlemen. They're like, that's you're misgendering or whatever. Remember that truck driver got in trouble for doing this in a photo? Mexican guy. They're like, that's a white power symbol. He got fired. So, like, it was horrible for a while. So don't gaslight me. Enough with the gaslighting. But yeah, I think we're good.
That's a really good
going.
point.
Yeah.
That's a really good point.
Thank you.
Yeah,
I have
really
a
good point.
Yeah.
So, like, it was bad for a while, but now, especially in this country, it feels like we're through the other side completely.
Yeah. And I think just even if you do get some shit, just keep going. Don't let it phase you.
Yeah, I think now people have got a strategy for surviving. I think the people who went through it in the early days, like a friend of ours called Daniel O'Reilly, Dapper Laughs, and he was cancelled. He was one of the first comedians cancelled in the UK because they clipped a bit of him and put it out of context when he was doing some crowd work. And
As a character act.
As a character act. And they clipped it out of context. It went viral. He ended up getting fired from his TV show.
Wow.
It was a hate campaign in the press. He said it drove him nearly to suicide.
Of course.
He went through absolute hell. But and he's now back and better than ever, and he's incredible.
Good.
But I think the thing was, the difficulty Dan found, and he spoke to me about this, is that when he was going through it, there was no template for what the hell he was experiencing, because that never really happened in that way before. And number two, like what's going to happen, and most importantly, you're going to get out of it, and you're going to be fine.
Right. It feels like the world is coming down on you. It's this onslaught of hate, and we're not used to that. You know. So it was. I feel for the guy, and that's the other thing that pisses me off. When that guy was going through that, no one ever goes, oh, like the left is supposed to be so compassionate. It's all about compassion. We got to help the minorities, help the homeless, help this. But this guy went through hell, almost killed himself, and they're like, hey, you'll be all right. You're doing great.
He was a straight white man, though, so.
Well, there you go. Yeah, exactly. You're doing great. You have the world at your fingertips. You're like, well, I can still get cancer. I know I'm white, but I can still get cancer. I still have feelings. It's funny how white people don't have feelings. I grew up in a black neighborhood. I got called all kinds of horrible things. It felt horrible. I wanted to kill myself. I was sad all the time.
Yeah, that's an interesting point where it felt there was one moment. I remember when the phrase stale, pale, and male was being bandied about. Do you remember that?
I never heard that one.
No, that's a very British thing.
Yeah, is it?
Yeah, they don't have that here.
Yeah.
I think.
Stale, pale, and male.
Yeah, and then that was just being brandished and knocked about wherever you went, and people were saying it. I saw it on bags.
Wow.
I saw it on this girl's bag, stale, pale, and male, and you go, would you be able to do that to anyone else?
Right. And it's just funny, too, because if you go, actually, I'm Cuban, they go, oh, my God, I'm so sorry. And you're like, now you feel bad for me? I'm still a human being. I'm the same guy. Like, just because I have a little bit of melanin or a little bit of flavor in my 23andMe, all of a sudden, now you feel bad? It's so stupid and so ignorant. And I'm glad my friend, he's a black guy, and he had a great point. He goes, I bet in 20 years, we're going to go back on the internet and see all the people who shit on white people, and we're like, you can't do that. That's cancelable. He thinks it's going to come around that hard.
Really?
Where like all the white guy hate will be like a fireable offense in 20 years. That's his theory, but who knows?
Really?
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Because everything, we think we can predict, but like everything's so fucking crazy.
So you think the whole thing is swinging in a different direction?
I think it's not just swinging. I think it's not like this and that. It's like a clock just doing this. Like anything, like no one thought Trump was going to be a president in 2005 when he's on Home Alone 2. Like anything can happen now. Everything's on the table is what I'm saying.
Yeah, it's a pretty wild time to be alive.
Yes, 100%.
What do you see? We've been in America for a few days, so we're only getting the lay of the land. Like, what do you see since the new administration's come in terms of like the culture and everything else that's going on?
Well, I try to. I'm not the smartest political guy, but it looks like the left is having a tough go. You know, the paddles at that State of the Union. You know, they had the paddles picked up. I don't know if you guys saw that.
No.
Oh,
What happened?
so Trump gave a big speech, as every president does, and the left wing wouldn't ever stand up, and then they like held up paddles to say like Elon steals or to impeach Trump or whatever they said. I don't know, but you're like, paddles? This is what you're doing? And then like Roseanne flew to Ireland because she's like, I'm getting out of here. You're like, you leave? That's your big answer to fighting the bad guy is to leave? I don't know. So it just seems like, and the approval rating is very low with the left. And I'm not saying the right is doing a bunch of great shit either. I'm just saying the left, when I grew up, the left was like the normal, it was like the stable one. And the right was like, don't get an abortion, you can't say this, and you know, we got to have everything be this way, and white is right, and all that, and religion all day long. And now it feels like the left is like, where are we at? What are we doing? Like, Gavin Newsom has a podcast. He just came out and said that trans sports is unfair. And you're like, but you championed it for years, and now you're just flipping? What are you guys? What's happening?
So
with
what
the
do you
left?
think he's doing there? Do you think he feels like the moment's changed
Yes.
and I'm going to swing with it?
That's all I can assume, because what else? I don't think he just changed his mind like that. I think he sees where the wind is blowing, which is why left to right, all these guys are fucking hucksters. They're all car salesmen and
You really are seeing a lot
artists.
of that, aren't you? Like, if you assume that these people are operating on principle, you're finding out pretty quickly on many sides, actually, that is not what's going on here.
yeah, left and right. And so these people are like, Biden's my guy or Trump's my guy. I'm like, your guy is a fucking con artist, left or right. Just because Biden's eating ice cream doesn't mean he's a nice guy. He'll still push a button and blow up a bunch of brown people.
Do you have at least $50,000 in your 401k or another retirement account? If so, listen up. The global landscape is increasingly unstable, and over $4.2 trillion has just vanished from retirement accounts. That's why many people, me included, are turning to gold as a hedge against these challenges, and thousands are turning to Augusta Precious Metals. They help you move part of your retirement into physical gold, something real, something that holds value when everything else is falling apart. And the best part? Augusta makes it simple. I've met them and seen how they work. There's no pressure, there's no games, just a team that actually takes the time to walk you through it. Thousands trust them. They've got an A+ rating with the BBB, and they're all about education first. Don't just take my word for it. Mike, who compared a dozen other gold companies, said on Trustpilot, none of them come close to Augusta. Justin said he was very cautious about moving a significant portion of his retirement funds, but Augusta's team was professional, honest, and patient, leaving him very happy with his choice. That's what sets Augusta apart. No pressure, just expertise, and real trust earned the old-fashioned way. So, if you're serious about protecting what you've earned, click the link in the description of this episode or go to TRIGGERgold.com and grab Augusta's free gold IRA guide. That's TRIGGERgold.com. It's your retirement. Make sure it's protected.
They'll all just say what they got to say. Like, Kamala's for fracking, then she's not for fracking. She worked at McDonald's, but we found out she didn't work at McDonald's. Like, this is who you want as your president? Some lady who lied about, and what's so good about working at McDonald's? I don't give a shit. If I worked at McDonald's, I'd kill myself. You know, like, why do I need my president to work at McDonald's? Why does that make her better? But it's all just, it shows you it's all image, you know? Hey, I worked at McDonald's. I'm a man of the people or a lady of the people. Like, who gives a f-? You got to run the country. I don't care you know how to work a fryer later.
Yeah, it's actually a profound point, because the people, you know, politicians who
But it's
try
like show business, isn't it?
It's show business for ugly people. That's what they say.
But it's also, you know, just because I can't relate to you doesn't mean you're not going to be a good president.
Yes, actually, it does mean if you relate to me, you should not be president. I'm an idiot. I'm hungover right now. I jerked off earlier while my kid was asleep. You know, it's I'm the wrong guy. I got 20 minutes on Jews in my act. You know,
Well, you can be very political with that in the current climate.
yeah, yeah, exactly. Any Jew joke I post online just skyrockets. By the way. That's another thing. Remember I said the clock is just flipping, the pendulum? Who thought Kanye was going to be a Nazi? That's what I'm saying. Like, everything's on the table. You can't predict anything anymore.
Yeah, that is such a good. If someone in 1999
Yes!
had told you Kanye West would be a Nazi that would wear a T-shirt with a swastika on it, I don't know that you would have believed them.
No.
Yeah. Or Elon in the Oval Office with a chainsaw. You'd be like, what the f happened? Like, if you went into a time machine, you'd be blown away. You'd be like, this is crazy. No one's going to believe me. If you went back in time and told everybody, they'd go, you're f***ing nuts. This guy's got to be killed. He's got to be in an asylum.
Or trying to indict a president for sleeping with a porn star.
That too, yeah. All insane.
It's all insane. And I remember hearing that story and going, yeah, that makes sense.
Exactly. We don't even bat an eye anymore.
Can you imagine that happening in 1992?
Well, we had Clinton. The cigar,
Yeah.
he put a cigar in a chick's pussy. It's pretty crazy.
Yeah,
And then
Yeah.
but
smoked
I
it.
still feel like Hunter Biden got up to shit that is just out of someone's like overwritten a book. You know what I mean? Like
Yes.
absolutely f***ing crazy shit.
Yeah, crack, hookers, freebasing, all that. Yeah, the whole thing's nuts.
Yeah.
It's like a stereotype,
Yeah,
an
Yes.
overdone
Yeah.
stereotype.
And then they found cocaine in the bathroom of the White House. You're like,
Yeah. That's a good time.
It
We're
is
having
a-
a good time.
it is a good time. So are you excited, Mark? Do you think this is going to be America being great again?
I think it's already pretty great. Like, everybody keeps trying to come here, you know? Like, we're doing something right. And, in Ukraine, gay marriage is illegal. Which you're like, hey, put that on your flag, everybody. You know, like,
It
everybody's
wouldn't
like,
go with the
Ukraine.
LGBT stuff.
That's
but-
true. That's
yeah.
true. And so, like, yeah, everybody thinks Ukraine is this like poor underdog. We got to help them, and yeah, let's help them, sure. But we're doing pretty good.
Your point is not about Ukraine. Your point is things are good
Yes,
here.
we're doing
Yeah.
pretty good.
Yeah.
Like we talk about how racist we are and all this, but all these minorities and brown people want to come here. So I think we're doing great. But you know what it is? It's a bunch of young people who. It's like having a rich mom and dad where you're like, fuck you, mom and dad. Then you go back to your amazing room with every Nintendo and game system and giant TV and millions of dollars and nice car and pool in the backyard. You're like, I hate my mom and dad. You're like, if you went to El Salvador for 10 minutes, you'd fucking kill yourself. But they just go, oh, it's all hard. Like, no, we got it good. And you'll realize that eventually. But it's like a teenager. You just got to let them yell it out.
Yeah, you do.
We got Uber Eats, we got Netflix, we got everything here. We got fentanyl. We got it made.
You've got a lot of that.
Oh yeah.
I still, I love America, but it's so funny, this place to me. Like, it's something as simple as, I can have a coffee. Would you like a medium coffee? I go, yes, please. And they hand me this.
Is that a big coffee?
No, that's a medium coffee in
but
your
I'm
country.
saying for
Oh,
you,
in
that's
Europe, that's like an extra
Extra large.
large.
oh,
If somebody in
that's a
Europe,
good point.
if he ordered one of them in a coffee shop, I'd be like, he's weird.
Yeah. Interesting. I had a large today, and it was bigger than that. We like abundance. We like big things.
Everything's big here.
Lizzo, crazy. We had to invent a drug that made people smaller because we're all so fucking fat.
But it must be the food.
It's gotta be. It's gotta be.
Look, your portions are demented.
Crazy.
God bless you.
I agree.
But I love it.
Me too.
Exactly. But there's got to be something with the food because it can't just be portion size.
No, and then you look at videos of us in the 80s and we're all thin.
Yeah.
Everyone is skinny. And if you were fat, it was like, look at this guy. Holy
Yeah.
shit. And now everyone's fat.
But do you remember at school there was a fat kid?
Yes.
But
I was that kid. I was a fat kid growing up.
But you walk around now and it just seems like Americans are just getting bigger and bigger.
I know. It's sad. And we spend the most on healthcare, and everyone is the unhealthiest. We're way less healthy than other countries.
Yeah.
And we spend a ton on healthcare. So
But I think those two things are exactly related. Because you are the most unhealthy, you spend the most on healthcare.
maybe you're right.
Right.
That's a good point.
I think that's probably it. Like when we are here for 2 weeks, we try to be very careful with food, and we still
Yeah.
come back bloated. Like we're like 1.1 the size of what we were. You know what I mean?
I
Like
know.
10% bigger across the board.
It's a problem.
You could just drink water here and you come back fat.
Yeah, our water is fat. Well, that's why RFK. You're like people. He's a kook. He's got a bear head in his trunk right now. But we do need a wake up call. It's kind of like Luigi. you shouldn't go around killing people, but our healthcare system is broken. So people are dying. People are getting shot over it. So as much as that guy's wrong, we should look into this whole system. The Fruit Loops aren't even, they're not legal in Canada, our Fruit Loops, because they have all these dyes in them.
But how delicious do they taste?
And they're so red and colorful.
Yeah.
It's exciting.
So what's happening with Fruit Loops?
Fruit Loops has a certain dye in it that makes them pop more, the color, in America. But in Canada, all those dyes are illegal.
And what does it do?
It just makes it more colorful, but I think it's also harming our bodies.
Right.
But we want the color.
We want the color.
America, we want the big coffee. We want the colorful Fruit Loops. We want the fucking crust with pizza in it, or cheese in it, our pizza. So we need more. It's never enough. We need bacon around other meats. We have pork, a pork chop with bacon around it, or whatever. It never ends. We just want more.
And that is your biggest weakness, but that's also your biggest strength.
Right, exactly.
Because that's why America is so magical. It's because you walk around and then everything that is done well in Europe has been taken to about level 342.
Sure. Yeah, we have a Jaeger bomb. That's a cup of Red Bull that we put a shot of Jaeger in and drink it. It's insane.
Is that an American thing?
Yeah, you never had one?
Yeah, of course. I've had Jaeger bombs, but I didn't realize it was an American thing.
All the good stuff is exported from America.
I assume it's got to be American. No British guy's coming up with that. No guy in a turtleneck with an umbrella. Hey, I got to do a Jaeger bomb. We have Speedball. That's where we invented that too. That's where you take, I guess it's heroin and Coke.
Yeah.
We can't have enough.
Yeah. You need the up and the down at the same time. You can't wait.
We're insatiable.
Yeah, it is. But here's the thing. There's still a magic to this place.
It's a magic. I agree. Yeah, and we're having a good time.
Yeah. But would you want to do comedy anywhere else?
Well, I love going to England. I'm going there in May. I'm very excited. So yeah, I'm going to Australia. But I would want to start comedy here. This is the best place to live, I think, for comedy. No offense.
Yeah, what, New York?
Yeah, 100%.
There's a lot of people now in Austin who are...
That's true, but we can do the Austin argument all day. I got a lot of thoughts on Austin.
What are your thoughts on Austin?
Well, I think the Mothership is a killer club. I think it's like one of the top clubs in the country. It's so well designed. The audiences are great. Pays well. Great location. But
I knew there was a but.
Yeah.
After all that, it's still a smaller city with not a lot of other options for comedy.
Yeah.
So people talk about it as this great scene, and it is, but it's really linchpinning on that Mothership.
Yeah.
You take that out, whereas New York has 11 comedy clubs, multiple theaters, arenas, all this stuff. So I don't think this is even an argument.
And is it also as well, look, you go to Austin, and I really like Austin.
Me too. I love it.
And the thing I like the most about it are the people. I think the Austinites are just charming and warm and really polite and friendly and all the rest of it, right? But that's not going to make you funny, is it, Mark?
It's a good point. And the weather's nice, and the girls are pretty, and all that. So I'm with you. But I will say Austin's this beautiful thing because it's right in the middle of the country, right at the bottom middle, and it's kind of got the best of everything, and everyone's a little less worked up over there. In New York, everybody's on edge all the time. In LA, everybody's too, hey man, what's shaking? Hey, your house is on fire. Whoa, you gotta do what you gotta do, but in Austin, it's like everyone's perfectly in the middle, and it's a lot more sane there.
Yeah.
So many fires in this country. It's crazy. Long Island's on fire. You got North Carolina, LA.
Why do you think that is, Mark?
I don't know. I think there's always been fires. The Great Chicago Fire. I think, I looked it up. There were more plane crashes at this time last year than this year, but we're seeing more of them now. Because DEI and female pilots, everybody makes it a story. So everybody's like, planes are falling out of the sky. But actually more fell out of the sky last year. But we can just make a narrative. We can make a headline. We can make a story.
Yeah, and then once you make a narrative, a headline, and a story, then you can monetize it for advertising.
Exactly. It's fear-mongering, and it works.
We'll just give everybody the model of how to do that.
Yeah.
Now there's loads of people that are just making millions. Well, to be fair, they already are.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I always say fires are the new school shootings. in America. There's one a week, and I've stopped caring. You guys don't have those, right?
No.
What, school shooting?
Yeah.
No.
See, another place we dominate in America.
We had one,
Really?
and then we banned guns.
And then we banned the guns.
Whoa. So you guys are a little more stabby.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah,
Look,
well-
if you're going to do it the old-fashioned way.
Exactly.
Put
I
some
like that.
fucking effort in.
Yes.
That's the difference between a country with history and no history.
Well, I always say stabbing is like breaking up with someone in person. Shooting someone in a school, that's breaking up via text. You know, one takes a little eye contact. You're like, this is hard for me too, you know, but the text is easy.
Yeah, just fire it out. It's it's a very American thing to do. You want as many as in one go as possible.
Right.
Whilst we're
right.
all about the experience.
Exactly. It's like the large coffee. We
Yeah.
want more.
We want more, and it's not necessarily quality.
Yeah. And to stab someone, you got to put the work in. You got to do some exercise. You know?
Exactly.
Which we don't want to do.
No. But Mark, it's been an absolute pleasure having you on the show.
Wait, is it over?
Is it?
Is it over? How have we done?
What time do we start?
Only half an hour in.
We're only half an hour in.
Yeah.
What are you doing? You're kicking
Oh,
me
I'm
out
sorry.
of here?
I thought we were. I can't believe that. Sorry. My apologies.
Let's not include this bit.
Yeah. I can't believe I'm normally really good.
Sorry, was I talking too much? Is that why is that why it felt like longer?
No, it's fine.
Oh, dear. Well done, mate.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, we actually should include this bit.
Yeah,
Yeah, keep
think,
it in.
Yeah, I think we're going to keep it in. That was embarrassing.
Yeah.
You guys do an hour, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
jeez.
Yeah.
God, you premature ejaculated the
Yeah,
podcast.
yeah. This is what your country does to me, Mark. I can't. I just, you know what? I love this country so much. I genuinely do. I love it so much. I think it's brilliant. I think there's so much opportunity here. Blah, blah, blah. There are times where I just think, I don't think I could live here because it's just too much.
Well, let me say, America is like your crazy, drunk, psycho friend. Like, we have a lot of problems, we have a lot of drugs, we have a lot of guns, but every time there's a world conflict, who do they call? You call the crazy guy. Hey, we got a war going on with Russia. Call us. Hey, we got a war going on with Gaza and Palestine. Call us. We're the go-to crazy guy. We're ugly Americans. We're fat. We're stupid. We're illiterate. But you always call us when there's a fight. We always got to pick up the bar tab.
Yeah, you are kind of the elder brother that we all bitterly resent.
Yes, we're idiots. We live in our mom's basement.
Yeah.
We're cleaning a gun and smoking a spliff. But when the fight goes down, we'll be there.
Exactly. And that's and I don't think people emphasize this enough. That's such an important role. Because if we didn't have that in the world.
Yeah, who are you going to call? France? Get out of here. A bunch of hairy armpitted ladies smoking a cigarette. They're not going to help you.
Yeah, and it's just a really important role. And sometimes what worries me is that, and I get why Americans are sick of it. I get why you're sick of sending money and losing troops, to war zones and all the rest of it. But I just sometimes feel that a world where America, and I'm not talking about interventions, but is seen as a big brother is preferable to everything else. And even though it is by far not perfect.
Yes, not by a long shot, but I'll take it. That's very nice. No country's going to be perfect. There's too many people here. We have 350 million people of many different races. A lot of people, many immigrants. It's gonna be friction. It's inevitable.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think what Francis is saying is, like, America being in that position is a lot better for everybody, including Americans, than if China was in that position or if Russia was in that position.
Completely agree. China's communist. They got a bunch of slaves over there. We just don't call them out because we don't want to look anti-Asian. But they're fucked up.
And we want their widgets.
Yes, good point. We like their stuff. What's going on with London, by the way? I mean, all I see on the news is like Muslim fistfights and girls getting raped and all this shit.
I'm going to be honest with you, mate. I've never seen those gestures done with those subjects.
I was trying to think of everything.
Yeah, you seem in a very celebratory mood of all of this.
Well, it's nice to know that we're not the only ones that are fucked up.
Look, starting a business is exciting, but it isn't easy. It's not just logos, merch, and big ideas. It's late nights, awkward first sales, and wondering if your bank balance is going to survive until Friday. That's why having the right tools from day one makes all the difference. Enter Shopify. Shopify powers millions of businesses around the world, from big names like Mattel and Gymshark to people just getting started on their kitchen table. It gives you hundreds of beautiful website templates, built-in marketing tools, even AI that'll help you write product descriptions, which, let's face it, we could have used for TRIGGERnometry back in 2018. Plus, did I mention that iconic purple Shop Pay button used by millions of businesses around the world? It's why Shopify has the best converting checkout on the planet. Your customers already love it. Turn your big business idea into with Shopify on your side. Sign up for your $1 per month trial and start selling today at shopify.co.uk/trigger. Go to shopify.co.uk/trigger. One more time, that's shopify.co.uk/trigger.
Everything okay? I mean, look, I know the news, again, everything's extreme, but
Yeah.
how is it? I heard a guy said a Facebook post and he got arrested.
Yeah, UK is pretty fun, man.
Really?
Yeah,
Damn.
Yeah.
That's so sad.
yeah. Like economically, we're pretty and culturally as well. Yeah.
Yeah. What do you think happened? You think we got too nice and people took advantage?
I think we've just had incredibly poor leadership for the last 15 years, Mark, who have just been pursuing policies that are ultimately destructive to the nation.
And if you're wondering why the tone has changed, it's because we're talking about the UK. Before that, we were all, hey!
Right.
Yeah.
America, isn't
now
it great?
Francis is like in a deep depression. We've just had poor leadership.
Well, I'm going over there in a month. Should I bring this up or should I steer clear?
No, just bring a stab fest.
Take the piss. Take the piss and bring a stab vest.
Yeah, you'll be fine.
Okay.
No,
All right.
No, you know what it is? It's an incredible country
It is.
that still has amazing things. It still does. There's a magic about England that I think it's a very special place.
Yeah.
It's incredibly special. And you see that with people when they first arrive, especially Americans, and you look and you see history, Mark.
Yeah, 100%.
Like real
It's
history.
real history.
Yeah,
Like
well-
proper, not the stuff you do here, real history.
Things that are actually old.
Yeah.
Yes.
But no, but there's, and that gives it a sense of gravitas. And it's just sad to see it kind of making the wrong choices, and they are choices.
Is it curable? Can you get out of it?
We'll see. I mean, for us, our political system is very different to yours. So it's a lot harder for any new voice to come through. Like the way Trump just came out of, like he was famous, but not
Sure.
political, right?
Yeah.
That happened quickly. All he had to do is put himself forward and start. Like in the UK, you have to have a whole party of like 300 members of parliament, like 300 people.
Oh, wow.
So if you're starting something from scratch, it is very difficult.
Yeah. You need a
so-
wild card or something.
Well, even then. So yeah, it's a much harder process, much slower process.
But can't people see the writing on the walls and go, I know there's 300 of us, but we all need to figure this out?
Yeah, well, right now, the party that I'm talking about, they have 5, and they've got a fucking civil war within the party on their own.
Oh, God.
They're at
Jesus.
each other's throats.
Yeah.
Yikes.
Yeah, and they're not pure enough for some people. They're not racist enough for other people. It's like crazy.
Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah.
Yikes. See, again, we always go, these times are crazy, but you look back to the French Revolution or pick any time in history. People can get their heads cut off and the brother killing the son or whatever. I mean, there's all kind of, this is not new.
No, it's just because we've got access to
Yes.
all of the news in the world in 30 seconds. And the thing that's
Exactly.
going to rise to the top of the algorithm is obviously going to be something unspeakably awful.
Right.
So you're going to open it, you go, I can't believe 30 people have been shot in a nightclub in Belize.
Yeah.
That's terrible. And then you
Right.
read all about it and you're like, oh, that's...
I'll be honest with you, man. I'm not that worried about Belize. My issue is when 30 people are blown up down the road. That's the bit I worry about. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a
Yeah.
good point.
But, things happen in America that you just wouldn't have been aware of in Britain. It just makes...
Yeah, but again, you can't say that because for me, our cultures are so closely knit together now because of the internet.
Yes.
That something that happens in America doesn't stay in America.
Yeah.
So we worry about American not because we care about Americans, it's because we care about ourselves, and we're like, oh, this is coming to us, whatever the fuck it is.
No, but I think it's even more than that. I think it's just the content then just activates you. So I just don't even think it's an intellectual thing like that. I think it's just purely an emotional reaction. You see or read or hear something, you go into it, and then you have a reaction to that.
Yeah, but do you have the same reaction about something that happens in France? No, you don't.
Why
right?
is that?
Well, because American and British culture are very closely connected because we speak the same language.
Sure.
We watch your movies, we watch your comedy specials, we watch your everything.
Yeah.
So what we think, increasingly, it's like almost like a common Anglosphere space.
Yes.
Yeah.
The shit that happens in Britain also happens in Australia 5 years later.
Yes.
It's like a pipeline, you know? And it's not exactly the same because the culture gets shaped by whatever's going on locally. We reject some things, we accept some things, but a lot of it is downloaded from here. So that's why I think we care about American stuff more than we do about what happens in other countries, because it gets filtered down to us. It's like the hand-me-down.
Yes,
I care
yes.
how you treat those trousers because I'm going to get them.
Which is ironic because we were your hand-me-down.
Yes.
We came
Yeah.
from you guys
Yeah.
originally.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
One would even say illegally, Mark.
Sure. Again, another crazy moment in history. You know, we act like these are the craziest times, but a bunch of British people came here and then killed a bunch of Native Americans and started a life.
Yeah.
It wasn't just the British.
No.
That's true.
Everybody
That's
got
true.
involved, mate.
Germans
Yeah.
and, yeah.
Yeah.
You're
So,
right.
but now your president wants to reabsorb Canada.
Yeah.
Are you pro Canada as a 51st state?
I love Canada. I've been playing there for years. I have many Canadian friends, so I don't know if this is a great idea. Like, just let Canada be Canada, let Mexico be Mexico. We had a good relationship. It was our upstairs, downstairs neighbor, and we were the fun apartment, and he was the boring guy, and they were the guy we got drugs from. You know? So now
It's a
I'm like,
perfect neighborhood.
yeah, but I do think Canada has its problems. Like even
Yeah.
before Trump, like the truckers and all the Trudeau hate. Every time I go to Canada, I go, what's up with Trudeau? They boo for like 4 minutes. It's crazy. So, and then they
That
got
might just be your audience.
That's
Mark.
true. That's true. But they got a lot of indigenous stuff going on over there.
Yeah.
And so I think Canada had its problems, but I just think this is unnecessary. I think we got bigger fish to fry. So Trump stirring this pot and then trying to say Gulf of America, I think all that is unnecessary. So I wish, I get it with the tariffs. The tariffs thing actually makes sense to me. I know that's like a radioactive term right now, but I kind of get it. Like, hey, why we'll just do reciprocal. You charge this, we'll charge that. Why are we paying way more? So but again, I'm ignorant. But part of me, like on paper, I'm like, that seems pretty normal. But again, I think we should have let's just let everybody live.
What about Greenland?
Greenland, I find I don't get that one either. That feels like a red herring. Like, hey, we're gonna buy Greenland. Let's focus on that while I, finger Stormy Daniels over here. Like the Jews were offered Greenland. Did you know that?
I did not know that.
Yeah, they were offered Greenland before Israel, and they said too cold. We're going to the desert.
Really?
Yeah. So the Jews knew.
Well, that's not looking like a good decision right now, is it?
That's true. That's true.
I mean, you've never been to Greenland, mate.
Yeah, I don't know. I think Greenland seems like it's quite peaceful and calm.
That's true.
In comparison, at
Yeah.
least.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think he should have just let it live, and because now we got more shit to worry about. We have a
Yeah.
lot on our plate already. Now we're worried about Canada. Come on.
It is weird. I'm like, who picks a fight with the Canadians?
Yes. And now they're booing us. I'm like, you guys were the nice ones. You guys supposed to be nice. You're not supposed to boo.
You know what Canada is? Canada is your lovely little sister who you love to pieces, and then she went to university and she got spitefully woke. It does feel like that, doesn't it? And then you just aren't, but you were lovely. What's going
Well,
on?
they've got rid of Trudeau and they've replaced him with a guy who wasn't even elected. He used to be the governor of our Bank of England.
Ooh, a lot of red flags there. Not elected and bank guy. That's bad.
Yeah. So we'll see what happens, man.
Yeah, we'll see. But nothing's perfect. Like, we forget everything is this nuance and complexity. Nuance is the new N-word. That's what I've been saying. Martin Luther King, hero, civil rights leader, amazing guy, an icon, crazy womanizer, hit women. So people are flawed. Churchill, your guy, unbelievable. What a badass. Beat the Nazis. He hated Indians. He was like, Indians are gross. Get rid of them. They're the worst. So like people.
I don't think those were his exact words. It should be fair.
He said it more eloquently. He was a brilliant writer.
I think he was slightly more classy about it.
Sure.
The sentiment was, I'm sure, the same. But,
It was
sentiment.
possibly more nuanced. Mark.
Imagine we went back in history and it turned out that Winston Churchill talked like Mark Norman. That would be a disappointment.
No, 100%. He's very eloquent, great writer.
Yeah.
And a cool dude, hitting the sauce at like 11 a.m. and
Legend.
Yes,
Yeah, it was.
Total legend. Beat Hitler, stood up to the bully, but he didn't get reelected after that. It was so sad. Even after that, they were like, we've had enough of you.
I think he did get re-elected. Actually, he did get
I
re-elected.
know. I'm with Mark.
No, it's not. He did get re-elected because what happened is they had an election post World War II.
Yep.
And he was kicked out.
He lost that one.
He lost that one, but then he came back. I think in the 50s he came back when he was a very, very old man.
I just think it shows you that the British are ungrateful.
Billy, am I right?
I think he lost one, then won one later. So there was like, we haven't enough Churchill for now. We need a minute with Churchill.
Yeah.
But great guy.
Didn't like Indians, though, is your point.
No. Which is fine. Are you allowed to not like something? Can you not like a group?
No, you can't.
I guess you're right.
What's up?
There you go.
So they had him back in
Yeah, they had
after
him back
voting him
in.
out.
Yeah,
Okay.
after voting him out, which is, but that is a little bit of ingratitude. How could you vote out the man who said we will fight them on the beaches?
We didn't do it in Russia, mate. Stalin stayed right where he was.
What do I need to know about Ukraine? All I know is Zelensky dresses like a ninja. He needs money. He barely speaks the language. What do I need to know about Ukraine? You got some Nazis over there, but who doesn't?
Well, basically, every country in Eastern Europe has a small amount of Nazis, but the people in charge aren't Nazis.
Sure.
I just hope it's going to be over soon, to be honest.
Let's hope.
Yeah. Trump's doing everything he can.
Really? Is that sarcasm?
No.
Okay.
No, Trump is genuinely trying. I'm quite surprised. Like, I actually don't agree with a lot of the stuff the right says about Ukraine in this country, but I genuinely think Trump is really, to me, a surprisingly level of, genuinely trying to fix it.
Yeah.
That's my sense.
The right is getting wacky. I just find with any group that is in power becomes a douche.
Yeah.
Men, women get in power. Like there's a woman who who works for Meta, a CEO, who started Me Tooing women. She was a lesbian. So I'm like, it's not a man-woman thing. It's just power.
Yeah.
So
we were talking about today over lunch. It's like, I almost feel like Twitter in particular is like the ring of power. And whoever has it has a slightly corrupting effect on them.
Wow, that's interesting.
And when the left had control of Twitter, it was full of woke retards.
Yes.
Right
yes.
now Twitter is increasingly full of right-wing retards.
Yes. I made a Barron Trump joke. I got fucking slammed. I got dragged all day long, and I'm like, you guys weren't mad when I was doing Greta Thunberg jokes. You know, because they're like, he's so young. How dare you make fun of a young kid? I'm like, hey, he's 18. He's getting laid at NYU. He's fucking crushing puss over there. So the guy, he's 7 feet tall or whatever. Let me make fun of the guy. I'm trying to keep it even.
Yeah.
So everybody gets mad when you make fun of their thing. I don't care who you are.
Yeah, but that's why you're cool. But most people don't want to keep it even.
Yeah, and that bias will really make you blindsided.
And it's not just with comedy. It's like we comment on shit that happens seriously as well as comedically, right? And I always thought the job of people who are doing that is to call the balls and strikes.
Yeah.
But everyone wants you to be on the field on their team.
Yes.
Right? And I don't understand why that's necessary.
I completely agree. Like you can go, Elon's going a little crazy, but Tesla's a great car. Or Trump's a psycho, but man, is he funny. You're like, why can't we say both? People get like, I called Trump funny once, and this lady chewed me out. She's like, you're alt-right now? And I'm like, I said he's funny. He's talking about, he's doing this. He's doing retard. That's hilarious. I'm not saying I approve of it. I'm saying it's hilarious. Like, why can't two things exist?
Yeah.
It's a silly thing that's like, I'm all in on this. So now if your group kills a guy for no reason, you got to be all in on it? It's a kiss of death in an argument, I think.
And it's a kiss of death, I think, for society. Because
yes.
If you live your life like that, genuinely, I mean, it's kind of tragic, actually.
Yeah, you must be eating away at your brain a little. Like, you have to silence shit. Like, oh, I didn't think that was great, but it's my side, so I got to go with it. I think the trans stuff had a lot of that in there.
Yeah.
How do you mean?
I mean, like the super far left, I think saw some trans stuff and eventually was like, wait, you're identifying as a turtle? Like, I guess I got to go with it because I'm a super lefty and I'm progressive and for the LGBTQ community. By the way, enough with the communities. Well, it's too many communities. Do I have a community? I'm a white guy. I guess we have a gated community. But yeah, so you identify as a turtle, that's fucking retarded, but I can't say it. So that's where I check out. Like, I've always been a left-leaning guy, but you're like, the turtle thing, that's silly. And then if you call it silly, they go, what are you, a right-winger? And you're like, the turtle, she's dressed with a shell on. like, what do you want from me? Can't we be sane? Let's just be sane.
Well, now with that, we can end the interview without doing it half an hour early.
Yeah, exactly.
Wait, what do you guys think? Don't leave me hanging on there. Am I wrong? Am I right?
You're not.
Am I
You're obviously
gay?
right. You're obviously right.
All right.
Yeah.
You're obviously right.
Yeah.
You just want sanity to win. That's all I want at the end of the day.
Yeah, we were having a conversation about this.
Yeah, I mean, look, we talked with Andrew Schultz about this, right? He was talking about the fact that when the pendulum swings from one extreme to the other, it doesn't spend a lot of time in the middle.
Right.
I don't know if you feel that way.
Yeah, the middle is nice. It's like a nice warm tub. Let's just hang out in the middle, but it's not exciting enough for people.
No.
So they got to push
That's
that
it.
thing.
Like the dopamine is such a powerful thing. Everyone wants to like
Yes.
go hard. It's
Yes.
online.
Yeah.
Online.
Yeah, 100%.
And the question is, the thing that no one quite understands yet is the relationship between online and the real world. I can't tell you, like some people will say, well, look, this thing happened online. It's online. No one gives a shit.
Right.
Right? And then other people will say, yeah, but things that go online don't stay online. Right?
Ah.
They manifest themselves in real world stuff.
Yeah.
Right? And I don't know how you feel about that.
I think online is more real than we think. Like, if you start tweeting about a guy being a pedophile, I think eventually it could catch steam and then the guy's life is ruined.
Yeah.
So there is that part, but then there's the whole thing of like, I got a bunch of death threats once for a joke, and part of me was kind of like, should I be worried about this? Is somebody going to come to my house and kill me or see me out and kill me? But then nothing happened, so you're like, all right, that's not real.
Yeah.
So I think it's 50-50.
Yeah.
It's interesting. All right. Well, head on over to Substack where you get to ask Mark your questions.
There you go.
Wait. No, we didn't do the last question.
Yeah, we didn't do the last question. I was going to say it's 1-1, but me cutting the interview in half was probably worse.
Yeah.
than missing out the last
Yeah.
question. I
Come
won't bring
on, you
that up.
guys are slipping. Come on.
Yeah, come on. Yeah, it is. It is. We are. Our high standards are slipping. So, final question is always the same. What's the one thing we're not talking about that we really should be?
I think you said it best. Just the don't get too biased. Open your mind up. Have some critical thinking. You got to check your friends. Start checking them. Going like, when somebody goes, all Republicans are racist, and you're like, that's fucking crazy. Relax. And then when the Republicans are like, if you jizz in a condom, that's
An abortion.
An abortion, yeah. And you're like, what are you, fucking nuts? So you got to start checking people, and we got to get out of this. We got to stop doing the right-left thing. It's too much. What side are you on? Even on TV, we put a D next to the guy's name, or an R next to the guy's name. And then you go, all right, I know where they stand. You're like, but you don't. They're complex. They're human beings, So I think break out of that and just enjoy people for who they are. That's what we should be talking about. Enough of this. Like, people go, Bill Maher is so cool. He has right-wing people on. I'm like, he has people on. Yeah. Enough with the identity bullshit. I remember when Jeffrey Dahmer had that show on Netflix. They're like, Jeffrey Dahmer is killing brown people. I'm like, he's killing people. Who cares what color they are? He's killing them and eating them. He's a big weird gay guy he's a cannibal. So just see people as people. Enough with what side they're on, what they look like, what race they are, what gender they are. Just treat everybody the same.
That's racist.
Hit women is what I'm saying. If you're going to hit a man, hit a woman. No, I'm just joking. I'm a comedian.
That is the most pre-cancellation. Look, I'm a comedian. Don't cancel me.
Just joking. We're having a good time, folks.
You realize they're going to clip that bit out.
Yeah.
Mark.
Of course.
Yeah,
That's
we're going to
they
find
do.
out cancel culture is real.
Yeah.
All right. Head on over to Substack, and we'll see you there with your questions for Mark. You appear to be an equal opportunities comedian when it comes to skewering politicians.
Hey.
How have you found the Trump presidency so far for providing material versus Biden's term?